the next one. So I've just turned 5 years old. It's actually like right before my birthday or right after my birthday. I just turned 5, and I was hoping that by 5 I was allowed to drive tractors on the farm because that's all I wanted to do is drive something like I saw Grandpa drive. So my grandpa had a tractor. He called it an Alice Chamber B, and that's actually what it is called. It's a little center row tractor. A lot of people use them in gardens. They're not big, and it was parked outside one of the buildings at the farm, and it went into the shelters where it stayed. And I said, Grandpa said, I need to take that tractor and put it in the shelter. And I was like, hey, can I drive? Can I drive? And he's like, yeah, you can drive. Hop up there. I'll show you how to do it. So I sit on the middle seat, and the steering wheel's vertical on those tractors. You know, you steer it like this. And he says, okay, here's the key. You got to hold the clutch down to crank it. And here's the gears. You're going to push it all the way over and up. That's first. You don't need to go in any other gear. And when you get to where you want to park it, you take it out of gear, and then you push in this choke, which would like shut the tractor engine off. It would just choke it off. And so it's like a little white knob. It's like a rod, and it's real low next to the transmission. You just push it in. So I'm driving, and I'm only in first gear. This thing is just barely moving. So I've got like 5 minutes to plan parking this tractor straight ahead in this barn. So I'm riding, and it's cool. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm growing up. I'm getting big. And when I get into the barn, I decide that I'm so good of a tractor driver now, I don't even need to push that little choke in. I can just take the edge of my sneaker and I can push it in, and Grandpa see how good I am, how cool I am shutting this tractor off. So when I get it into the barn, I don't even think about take it out of gear, put it in neutral, then cut it off. I just push the choke in. Well, I bent the choke sideways so it wouldn't go in. Now I'm panicked. I forgot all about taking this tractor out of neutral. And I just decided, well, here we go. Let's see what happens. So I drive that tractor into the barn. Grandpa had two 55-gallon drums of oil for tractors. He had 4 auger units, like go in the bottom of a grain bin to pull the grain out when after you've put it into silo, you load it into a truck and haul it off to whoever you sell it to, feed me or whatever. They're stacked up against the back side of the shelter just long ways, and I'm driving towards them. So, and in front of them, he'd put two 55-gallon drums of oil so nobody would ever damage them. That tractor, to be so small, was brutally strong with torque. So it hits the drums. I can hear Grandpa in the distance going, whoa, 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 whoa. I hit the drums, pop them. Oil is spraying everywhere. They lay forward on top of the auger units. Front axles climb over it, climb the auger units, and right as the tractor is about to go true vertical, it finally chokes the engine off itself. It goes like, it slides back. And I'm just holding the steering wheel, trying not to cry, because I know I am in a lot of trouble. So Grandpa runs in there and goes, what happened? What happened? The choke didn't work. Choke didn't work, Grandpa. And he looked down, and he looked at me. He looked back down where that choke was bent sideways where my foot was. And he said, I never saw you bend over and push the choke. I said, I did, and I was good enough. I pushed it in with my foot. And he said, Glenn, when I tell you how to do something, that's exactly how you do it. And I said, yes, sir. And I'm about to cry. And he realized it, like I was about to lose it. And he said, that's fine. Don't worry about everything you just done, but I will tell you what you've got. You've got 365 days to think about it, because you will not be allowed to drive a tractor until you turn 6 years old, and by then you will learn to respect what I tell you to do and how I tell you to do it. And my father was actually there at the time. It was one of the few times he was around, and I was so scared I was going to get beat, like whooped or whatever, you know, because that's kind of his method of operation. I was just so scared that Grandpa was going to whoop me. And he's like, I ain't got to whoop you. I'm going to let you've whooped yourself. So, okay. So basically, when I turned 6 years old, I was allowed to drive a tractor again, and I never ever broke another rule that Grandpa had told me about a tractor.